Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of the Fat Katz Podcast. I'm your co-host, Ward Sewell, joined by my other co-host, Mr. Cameron Taylor. Today is 11/02/2023. November is here. No Shave November is here for all our hairy listeners out there. Speaking of hairy listeners, or speaking of hairy podcasters, Cam, what's up, buddy?
Hey man, living the dream. No Shave November. There's a triple N that I'm not going to say on here, but some people celebrate that as well. Coming up on Thanksgiving, hope everybody had a happy Halloween. I know me and Ward celebrated Halloween the right way in Coley, North Carolina. But before we get into it, I want to remind everybody, find us on Spotify and YouTube. Just type in the Fat Katz Podcast. That's KATZ. Find us on Instagram and TikTok at Fat Katz Pod. We got a hell of a show in store for you guys today. We're back on it. No more rust from that bye week we took a few weeks ago, but we're back on it, man. But Ward, like I kind of alluded to it, we were in Coley in the western part of the state this weekend. You have any stories or any shout outs you want to share with the people?
So as you know, life gets in the way sometimes, Cam. And the boys, aka Ward and Cam, we don't get to see each other much anymore. We see each other about once a month, but the boys were in full throwback mode this weekend. It was like we were back in color. We were back in the 808. We're back in the Wii. It was just like old times. We were out riding around, having a good time. You had to be there to see some of it. But we boys went to El Pat and put a hurting on some burritos. We watched some good football. And, of course, Western wins all the time. When we're not there, the big dogs come to town. What happens, Cam?
We lose. We get not only lose, get run out of our own stadium.
28-7 at the beginning of the first, or at the beginning of the second quarter. But we ended up making a game. I think we lost, what was it, 42-49, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I didn't make it for that far. I made it to the third fumbled kickoff, and I decided that was the time for me to get out of there.
And I will say, Cam, I have a little bit of a burden I want to pick really quick before we hop into this podcast with Western Carolina University. We spent a lot of money at that school, Cam, not just on academics, on everything involved outside of academics. The boys spent a lot of money. You're going to charge me $40 to get into a homecoming football game? They apparently cat cards don't. So if anybody that went to Western, the oldest trick in the book is if you don't have your cat card, we have something called a 920 number. And you go up to the student allied security guard and say, hey, I don't have my cat card. Here's my 920. You tell them some bullshit number, they'll let you in. Not anymore. Now they make you go pay. Since we're good now and everybody wants to go, not for the band, they charge us $40 to get in. Cam, I think you paid what, like 30, 35?
I paid $20 for my ticket, yeah.
Oh, 20?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad at all. They tried to charge me 40 to get in. I said, yep, nope, I'm going to watch.
Supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand.
$20 isn't bad. But yeah, that's the only bone I had to pick with Western. I spent a lot of money at that school, and I just started paying that back, by the way, student loans. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was surprised that they weren't taking old 920 numbers, but I get it. It's homecoming. You want to make as much money as you can. Yeah. I will say, me, you, and James Fry and the rest of the Highlands Hooligans game basically kept that market going during COVID. So they owe us a little bit at least. But
spent a lot of money, Cam, not just on Busch Light, but Subway.
Yeah, man, we kept that economy going. I'll say that. But yeah, it was awesome to get to see all the folks down there, and saw a lot of people I wanted to see. Saw some people saw some people I didn't want to see. But it's all good.
The Fat Katz got a lot of love. The boys
we did, man,
and the girls love the Fat Katz.
I want to say shout out Ben Brown, man. Our guy Ben Brown.
Shout out Ben Brown.
We spent Saturday night together, and no less than 20 times he told me how much he loved the Fat Katz, man. And it means the world to you when your friends come up and tell you that they like what you're doing. So everybody who had kind words, we appreciate you. Coleman comes to mind as well, but shout out to everybody. I will say I tied a few on at the tailgate. If you came up to me, I might not remember it, but just shout out to everybody, man.
And I will say too, kind of coming off what Cam said, thank you for everybody, all the support, not just Raleigh, not just Charlotte, not just West Virginia, not just Kentucky, but Coley as well. So we really appreciate it. Me and Cam, I'll go ahead and speak. We were putting a hurting on some alcohol at the tailgate. So we did have a lot of people come up and say, we love the Fat Katz. And I had a lot of people come up to me and say it. And I was like, I appreciate it. I cannot remember who exactly said what. I know you said it, so we really appreciate you. But Cam, it is episode 30. We are at another milestone. 30 episodes in. We're more than half a year in now. Our first episode was in April. We're in November now. So we've grown a lot as podcasters in 30 episodes in 7 months. I can tell you that.
It's crazy to think about, Ward. It really is. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into it.
Let's get into it, big
Obviously,
dog.
our first thing we do here is first favorite and forgotten for episode 30. If you're new, jersey number of the episode. So this one will be number 30. We do our first person that comes to mind, our favorite athlete to wear number 30, and somebody who might not get enough respect or gets forgotten about that wore the number 30.
Yep.
With that being said, Ward, I think you got the easiest one in the book here coming off the bat.
Yeah, I think everybody thought this. Steph Curry, number 30. I mean, generational talent.
Yeah, one of the best point guards of all time, if not the. My first, actually, growing up in Louisville, or growing up in Louisville, outside of Cincinnati, excuse me. King Griffey Jr. was the first 30 that came to my mind.
I don't know why when I saw you put Ken Griffey Jr. down, I don't know why I thought he wore 24. I think it's at one point he wore
I think he did in Seattle.
In Seattle, okay. Yeah, I thought at one point he wore 24s. I saw that and I was like, yeah, he did wear 30. Anyway, long story short, I'll go ahead and go with my favorite. And the reason why this gentleman is my favorite. Cam, do you remember Troy Acme?
I remember the name, but man, I can't think of it.
Former Redskin football teamer. He never made it to the Commanders. But Troy Acme was actually the first white cornerback to start in an NFL game. I think he started in 2017 or 2018 was his first start. He was the first white cornerback to start in like 20 years or something like that in the NFL. Oh, looks like we lost Cam for a second. But anyway, I'll keep the podcast rolling. Yeah, my forgotten number 30 is going to be Jamal Williams. And Jamal Williams, reason why he's my forgotten is because, as you know, he played for Detroit last year. He was extremely good for Detroit. And then all of a sudden he just fell off. He got traded and fell off. And now he plays for the Saints, I believe. So Cam fell out of the podcast. Let me call him really quickly, see where he's at. Listeners, 1 second. I'll put Cam on speaker so everybody knows where he's at. Hey, Cam, we are live on the podcast. I have you live in front of our listeners, and we lost you, buddy.
I'm trying to join right now.
Just join. Go to your email on your phone and just join from your phone. Cause I'm doing the recording from my side, and then I'll tell you the outline from there.
Okay, cool.
So. Cool. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my game balls, and then by the time you join, you'll hop into your game balls. All right. So, Fat Katz listeners, sorry for the technical difficulties. Cam has an Apple computer, and Cam's computer decided to crash on him. I have a Lenovo computer. So, the reason why you should buy a Lenovo for that reason is because Lenovo will not crash on you. Cam, welcome back to the show, my friend. But, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
What happened?
Dude, the whole laptop crashed. The whole setup's gone. I don't know what's going on here. Let me do my favorite real quick. Because this is my guy, Rasheed Wallace, number 30 for the Pistons. On that championship.
You got to turn on your camera.
I'm trying. It won't work. We've had all kinds of crazy stuff going on. The laptop is back up, so let me try to join that way.
No, you're good. Yeah, you start talking about why he's your. Here we go. We're getting.
Recording in progress.
Listeners, I'm sorry, we're having some technical difficulties on our end.
This is crazy. This is crazy work.
The big dog's back.
I'm back. Like I never left. Yeah, Rasheed Wallace, favorite player on that Pistons team outside of Tayshaun Prince. And did you already do your forgotten?
I did do my forgotten.
Terrell Davis is my forgotten. Played running back for the Broncos on those championship teams. First game balls going out to Tyrese Maxey, Ward. Through a week of the NBA, he's in an elite club of 50, 40, 90 guys, which is 50% from the field, 40 from the three-point line, 90 from the free throw line, and he's averaging 30 points while doing it. It's unheard of.
My first game ball this week is going to Mr. Joe Mixon. that I acquired in a trade from Cam. Joe Mixon sucks all year, and then the week I get him, he decides to go off. So, Cam, appreciate it, brother. But the reason why he's my main game ball this week, Cam, is because I have a friend, a big friend of the pod named James Fry. We've been doing fantasy for 4 years now, Cam, or is this our third year?
4 years, yep.
4 years, Fry has never beat me in fantasy. I've never beat Cam. I don't think you've never beat Fry, right?
I've never beat Fry.
Cam's never beat Fry, and Fry's never beat me. Weird triangle we have going on. But anyway, Joe Mixon goes off, man. Joe Mixon, Fry is like the nail, or there's the coffin right here. There's the nail. Joe Mixon's the freaking hammer. Joe Mixon put the hammer to the nail, and we won in fantasy. So shout out Joe Mixon. Fry, you still suck in fantasy, and maybe next time, buddy.
So the going joke around my league, I hate Joe Mixon. For anybody that doesn't know, I think Joe Mixon is a terrible person. He plays for the Bengals, which makes him even worse. He always ends up on my fantasy team, one way or another. And I trade him halfway through the year every year because the first 8 weeks of the season, he stinks. I trade him away. The week I trade him away, every year he goes off. This year is no different. He'll somehow be on my team next year, and I'll try to trade him for 8 weeks. The week I finally trade him, he'll have 25 points. But Joe Mixon did have a hell of a game for the my second game ball is going to John Lynch, the GM for the 49ers. Not only for the talent he's put on the field so far this season, the talent he added at the deadline. We'll get into it later, but getting Chase Young for a third-round pick is highway robbery.
Yeah, no shit.
So John Lynch, game ball for this week.
Well, I get my next game ball is actually Cam. I haven't given many of these game balls this year, but my second game ball is going to be going to NC State football. NC State football, as anybody knows, I'm a big NC State fan. We are Clemson's daddy, but that's for later on down in the podcast. NC State beat Clemson 24-17 at home for the second time in 3 years. We have now beat Clemson. And from a program that was down here, we just beat Clemson. We're back up. Bowl game hype is back up. The fan hype is back. We play Miami this week. Everybody's going. So shout out to NC State football. Dave Doran's doing his thing. They got my game ball.
Man, I love me some Dave Doran. He's like the Phoenix, man. When everybody thinks his job is done at NC State, he just rises from the ashes, gets a huge win, somehow salvages a bowl game. You guys will go to the Gator Bowl this year, and everybody will be back on track. So Dave Doran, man, hell of a job he's done at NC State there. Yeah. Well, let me say one more thing, because Kentucky's going through this as well. When 7-5 is a disappointment at schools like NC State and Kentucky, that tells you how good of a job those coaches have done. Because when I was a kid growing up, Ward, and I think you were the same way, if you won 6 games and got to go to a bowl game, you were happy. But, yeah, man, let's move on real quick. Ward's taking a call. What a show to start off here. But Las Vegas Raiders is probably the biggest story in sports right now. Raiders clean house, man. They get rid of the coach, the GM. They sit Jimmy G. They fire the OC. Full restart here in Las Vegas for the Raiders, and tough way to start the season. I hate it for my guy Devontae Adams, although he did ask to go to Vegas to play with Derek Carr. So just an absolute, kind of crap show going on in Vegas right now. And what's new, Ward?
But the Raiders aren't looking too good. And you look at it last year, dude, they had so much talent, man. They brought this coach in last year. They have Devontae Adams. They have Derek Carr. They have a good defense. They have a good offensive line. That just falls into the fire. And then this year, they are really not doing good. And anyway, I don't really know much about their head coach. I know he's had a stint before and he sucked, and then he sucked in Vegas, Oakland, Vegas. So I think this is going to be his last stint. I think he's a good coordinator. But, yeah, man, I will say Oakland's new go ahead.
Oh, well, I just want to say 2 things on Josh McDaniels, who is the coach that just got fired. First of all, first coaching gig was in Denver. He started out 8-0 in his career, Ward, and then a cheating allegation arose, and therefore investigation by the league happened. Since that point, he's won like 3 games as a head coach.
He started out 8-0 in Denver?
Yes.
I don't remember that. No shit.
And he tied his career in Denver to Tim Tebow. We saw how that worked out. And then he gets to Vegas, and instead of riding with Derek Carr, he says, I want Jimmy G to be
Jimmy G. How's that going for you, buddy?
So, like I said, Josh McDaniels, you said it, good OC. I don't know if I share that same sentiment. He was the OC in New England with Brady. I think me and you could have been the OC there and looked good, but
Yep.
Vegas, man, I'm glad they're kind of hitting the reset button, and this feels like Mark Davis's like fourth or fifth reset button since he's taken over the team.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I will say, or the Vegas's new coach, he cut a mean promo. The
He
boy's
did.
not here to play. I can tell you that. But yeah, man, we'll move forward. And Cam, I'll kind of take the realm on this. As everybody knows me, everybody knows how much I like Taylor Heineke. And I'm telling you, man, the NFC South better be put on notice. Taylor Heineke has taken over a 4-4 Atlanta Falcons team in a division that sucks. Taylor Heineke's been there. This man exceeds expectations. I am now the Falcons are now my second favorite team in the NFL because of how much respect I have for this man. Check Taylor Heineke out. The big dog is back. The big dog's in Atlanta, and he's prepared to take off. So happy for him.
Yeah, man. You'll never find a bigger Taylor Heineke fan than Ward Sewell.
Big Taylor Heineke guy.
Glad he got the starting job. He deserved it. Ritter was awful.
Sucks.
But real quick, let's get into some baseball news. And again, not a baseball podcast. Texas Rangers did win the World Series last night. Yeah. Feel like we need to at least touch on that. I couldn't tell you a thing except Ben Miskelly going absolutely nuts in O'Malley's when that cat hit the walk-off in game 1, I believe. But, I mean, congrats to the Texas Rangers.
Congrats to the Rangers. I may be a bad sports fan for this, but it was in like the 5th inning. It was 0-0. I watched a little bit of it, and then I turned on another channel just because not a baseball pod. But anyway, congrats to the Rangers.
Hey, Max Scherzer, one of two guys. This could be wrong. One of two guys to win a World Series for 2 different teams. And
active players?
I don't know. I know
feel somebody else won one last, or somebody. I saw somebody's story. I can't remember who it is, but he played for the Dodgers and then he just won one with the Rangers. He's like a third base. He's like a third baseman or something. Anyway, Max Scherzer is also one of 2 guys that has 2 colored eyes.
He does have that. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. I don't know. But let's get back into our realm.
Let's get back into our neck of the woods, something we know about.
Ward, I want you to take these first 2.
Yep.
I'll say what happened, but I know you feel a certain type of way. Chase Young to the 49ers for a 3rd-round pick. This is NFL trade deadline, obviously. And then Montez Sweat to the Bears for a 2nd-round pick. Ward, the floor is yours, brother.
Yep. So I'm going to be honest, Cam. I've done a lot of thinking about this. I had to really take this in. I called you on Monday afternoon, Monday morning. And I was sick, man. I was like, literally, I felt like I was about to get sick. It's the first big trade that's really impacted us that I can remember was the Chase Young trade. I knew Montez was gone. But the thing is, Cam, we've been bad for so long. And the thing is, a new ownership comes in. You don't pay $6 billion to continue to lose. New ownership comes in. They try it out. We do have studs on defense. Don't get me wrong. We're the 31st ranked defense in the NFL. We have 6 first-round picks on our defense. So what do you do when you're at the bottom? When you have a house that you want to rebuild, what do? You take all of those parts out and you put new parts in. To be 100% honest with you, Cam, Chase Young was not going to re-sign with us unless we gave him Nick Bosa money. And Montez Sweat had already expressed that he wasn't going to re-sign with us because we can't re-sign both of them. So I hate they walked, but I would rather get something for them than let them walk for free. You know, we got a 2nd-round pick for Montez Sweat from the Bears, which is pretty much going to be a late 1st-round pick. The Bears suck. And then Chase Young, we got a 3rd-round pick, which is pretty much going to be a 4th-round pick because the Niners are good. But anyway, hate to see it happen. I wish the best for them, but it's not the worst thing that's happened to our franchise.
Yeah, man. And we talked, I think it was Tuesday when the trade deadline was. And, I told you at least you got something for these guys.
Tuesday, yeah.
At least you got something for them. I don't think either one of these guys was going to re-sign for what would be a team-friendly deal.
Yeah.
And we also talked about, like, if you would have got that 2nd for Chase and then that 3rd for Montez, I think you would have been happy.
Yeah.
So, you just got them flip-flopped.
The Bears are the big losers in this. The Bears gave up a 2nd-round pick. And Montez Sweat has already came out and said he wants to explore all options after these 9 games with Chicago.
This Bears GM, man, I don't know his name. God bless him. he's gotten hosed in 2 straight deadlines, it looks like.
Yeah.
People forget he traded the 32nd overall pick for Chase Claypool Ward, who for 4 weeks was a healthy scratch, then got cut. I mean, I don't know. To trade for an expiring Montez Sweat contract for what it will seemingly be a top 35 pick is crazy.
It is a little crazy. I personally, as a GM, for Chase Young or Montez Sweat, I'm not giving anything up less than a 4th-round pick.
Yeah,
I mean, anything up more than a 4th-round pick.
Yeah, because you're getting rentals. You're getting 8-game
rentals is what it is. It's a 9-game rental.
But moving on, some less impactful guys. Josh Dobbs to the Vikings after Kurt obviously tears his Achilles. He's out for the year. Late round pick for Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs just continues to get jobs, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a bad quarterback, don't get me wrong, but to continue to get these jobs is funny. Rasul Douglas, after earlier in the season, Josh Allen told him he was trash, gets traded to the Bills. Big Cat, Leonard Williams. The Seahawks gave up a 2nd-rounder for Big Cat to the Giants.
Yeah, Seahawks got robbed.
That was almost as bad as the Montez Sweat deal. You get an extra year of Leonard Williams, but he hasn't been very good this year, Ward. And then probably the biggest or the second biggest trade is Kevin Byard to the Eagles. Former All-Pro safety. He was All-Pro last year. And Terrell Edmonds and some mid-round picks for Kevin Byard to the Titans. And that's your big trades for the deadline. There were some smaller deals. I know the Jags beefed up their offensive line a little bit. I think McCole Hardman goes back to Kansas City. Some stuff like that. But that's your NFL trade deadline. And a quick recap of last week. We're too late in the week to go deep dive into the recap. But let's start off with NFL, and I'll let your Commanders go ahead and take the tee box here.
Yeah, I'll go real quick here. The Commanders, obviously, we lost to the Eagles. The boys played really good. We only gave up 1 sack, Cam. We gave up 1 sack to the best defense in the NFL. We have given up 42 sacks this year now, and we only gave up 1 last week. So I'll talk about some high points and some low points. Low points, defense played like shit again. A.J. Brown torched our defense. If anybody had him in fantasy, he went for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns again. But that's one. The second is the shining point with Sam Howell. Outside of 1 throw, Sam Howell looked really good. He threw for 382 yards and 3 touchdowns. He only turned the ball over once. He made 1 mistake at a very crucial moment. But other than that, if you're looking at that one crucial moment, you're not a good fan. Sam Howell played great. It's the best quarterback we've had in Washington in the past since RG3. So we lost again. We're now 3-5. And yeah, long story short. But the boys played good. Cam, tell me about your Steelers.
Well, I'll say real quick on your boy Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa.
Dude, once that offensive line gets beefed up, I saw he's on track to get sacked 93 times this season, which is crazy.
And pray he stays healthy. But
dude, he's impressed me, man. For the expectations we had coming into the season to what he's done, he's been extremely impressive.
He's a 5th-round pick too.
Cannot say the same about my Steelers. Another abysmal offensive performance. This coming after George Pickens in a presser early in the week said that the Jags in their pass defense is a hope defense. They hope that they can stop the offense. Pickens had 1 catch on Sunday in a 23-13 loss to the Jags. Man, this offense has got to figure it out. Kenny gets hurt again. He's got a messed up shoulder and messed up ribs now, and Mitch Berg comes in and just – I don't know why we pay the guy, man. Yeah. He stinks. I've been told he's the best backup in the league, dude. He stinks. He's terrible. But man, tough week for the boys. I do want to say, can't believe I don't know how this guy didn't get a game ball for me. I might have to take my boy John Lynch out. But shout out to Will Levis, dog.
Will Levis
comes in, first start, 4 touchdowns. I mean, he played about as perfect as you could.
Yeah.
And that last touchdown, the one not to D-Hop, was a throw that maybe 5 people in the world can make. And unfortunately, he's going to have a rude awakening tonight when he takes on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I do want to say,
who are you pulling? Obviously, you're pulling for the Steelers, but do you want to see your boy do good or not?
No. I hope he throws 9 picks today, man. I
That's
really
right.
do.
I didn't even put two and two together. He's playing the Steelers. There's a lot of Kentucky people that are Steelers fans too. So I'm
Yeah.
curious how that's going to play out.
Steelers take it, dog. Like if it was, I don't know how to equate it the other way,
And
but
wasn't Levis at Penn State before?
he was, yeah,
Yeah, so I
back
wonder
up and
him.
say,
Yeah,
yeah. But I love Will to death. I hope he plays awful tonight, and then I
yeah,
hope he gets back on track after it. But
yeah.
great. I mean, you couldn't
Good for
ask for
Will
better
Levis,
start.
man.
I'll
Good for Will
say
Levis.
there's two guys in NFL history, Ward, besides Will Levis that had 4 touchdowns in their first game. The first one being Marcus Mariota, and
Really?
yes, and the second one being Fran Tarkenton.
Huh.
So you probably want to be more like Fran than Marcus, but funny that there's 2 Titans on that list as well.
That's really cool. I did not know that. But good for Will Levis. And I will say, Will Levis's girlfriend that left him, don't come crawling back now. Don't come crawling back now. The
Don't
big
do
dog
it.
at the top, and he's in Nashville. So he has
Yeah.
he has he has the pick of the litter in Nashville.
Don't go back to him. You come this way, Shorty. I'll take care of you. Don't worry.
Hey,
But
I got my co-host Big Dog Cam will treat you right. Come
yeah,
see the Big
yeah,
Dog
man.
out. But
Um,
yeah,
what-
Cam, let's move on, man. I touched briefly on the NC State Clemson game. I'll go ahead and jump in it again. I'm not going to share with the audience what my notes say down here for the Clemson NC State game, but yeah, I'll tell you what it says. It says NC State is Clemson daddy and FUCK Steve Smith. And we'll get into Steve Smith in a little bit, but yeah, NC State 24-17 win over Clemson at home. Biggest win we've had this year. Biggest win we've had in the last 2. Biggest one we had this year. We beat Carolina last year with a third-string quarterback. Carolina sucks, by the way. But anyway, huge win for us. The season's back on track. And for my second thought, Steve Smith. Who's a basketball school, Steve Smith? What's your Utah? What I don't even know Utah's mascot. If that tells you anything about
the Utes.
the Utes. Yeah. What'd your Utes do this weekend, buddy? Y'all got the shit beat out of you. NC State beat Clemson. Clemson's won 2 national championships in the last 6 years, 7 years. What's the Utes done? They won a Pac-12 championship. Oh, boo-hoo. Good job. But anyway, yeah, Steve Smith, screw you. Go crawl back in your hole. Ice up, son. Ice up. Cam, tell me about Kentucky.
Love it. Not as hyped about Kentucky football as you are about Clemson. This was the best game I've seen Devin Leary play, but still, you lose to Tennessee at home. There's no way to make it spin zone it to being a good thing. But like I said, this is the best game I've seen the offense play, and of course, right when the offense gets on track, the defense just decides they don't know how to play football against this team year in and year out. Man, it's tough to watch because this Tennessee offense, like when Joe Milton's missing as badly as he was, there's no reason they should beat you. And they did. But it has come to light, Ward. There's a possibility Devin Leary comes back to college next year. He's applying for a medical exemption for his last season in NC State because he only played 4 games.
Yeah. I thought you have to play 4. If you play 4, then you're.
I don't know. With this COVID stuff and everything, I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
I wouldn't care to have Devin Leary back for another year. He's better than a lot of quarterbacks. I know I've been tough on him, but he's better than a lot of quarterbacks, especially our true freshman coming in next year.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, man, college football. I do want to touch real quick. We're talking about Clemson. Dabo. I don't know if you heard the post game, dog.
No, what did he say?
Hell of a call. I forget this kid's name. Somebody in Spartanburg. I think it's Jake or some random name. Kid from Spartanburg goes on this long rant talking about how Dabo is underperforming this year and he can't believe that he's the second highest paid coach in college football and why is he getting paid $11 million to go 6-6 and all this crazy stuff. Dabo goes nuts on him.
What did he say? But I didn't see it.
I'll have to
look it up.
He was saying, I don't know. You go look it up. It's a 6-minute video.
Oh,
but
God.
It's worth it. That call, I would pay money to be able to see Dabo's face when he's making this call. But yeah, it's on the coach's show. I think it was on Monday. But crazy. Go check it out. And to our guy Justin, man, sorry for the loss. I know Ward's going to be tough to listen to today. He's probably not even listening.
I didn't even talk shit to Justin. I said, good. Clemson's not the same. They're not the same Clemson. If they were the Clemson with Dexter Lawrence there when they were winning all the natties, oh yeah, he'd fucking hear a mouthful, or he'd hear an earful. But
it's hard to hear a mouthful. I'll say.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
But let's talk football. Let's talk NFL. We got a few games coming up here tonight. Steelers Titans. Steelers 2.5-point favorites. Take the Steelers, dog.
Is it at home?
Yes, at Pittsburgh.
Give me Pittsburgh.
Also take the under. I think it's 37.5 now. I don't know if you guys have seen the stat, but if you bet all unders in primetime games in the NFL the past 5 seasons, you'd be up like 80 units or something crazy.
Wow, did not know that.
So let's keep that trend going. Let's bet the under. Ward, any thoughts on this game for tonight?
Don't jinx yourself, Cam. Give me the Steelers at home. I don't think the Steelers are going to lose 2 in a row, especially not to a second game starter, Will Levis.
Yeah. Your Commanders versus the Patriots, with New England being 3.5-point favorites.
You ready, Cam?
Let's hear it.
Clip this. Patriots beat us on the road. Monday morning, Eric Bieniemy is the new head coach in Washington. Clip it. You heard it here first. On Thursday, 11/2 at 12:11 p.m. during your lunch break, you heard this, Cam. There's a fire. There's a buzz going on in the NFL. Obviously, new ownership is making a big stake by getting rid of 2 key players, 2 first-round picks we've had in the last 4 years. And then the next big thing, there's the first head coach fire this week. The second head coach fire comes in on Monday morning.
Okay.
Ron Rivera's stint in Washington is over.
How awkward would it be if you guys won that game?
Ron Rivera bought himself a couple more weeks. I can tell you that. I hope we win.
To me, game of the week, Dolphins Chiefs. Kansas City 1.5-point favorites. They've been bet
the over.
yeah, bet the over. Kansas City's been a rough watch the past couple of weeks. They lost to Denver last week, which divisional game it happens. Give me the Dolphins to win outright, man. I don't think Kansas City gets back on track this game.
Oh, man, I don't know. Dude, I hate to say it, Dodge. I'm sorry. Give me Kansas City. We saw the Dolphins' last big game when they played the Eagles. They got beat. And I think this Dolphins team good, but this Kansas City team has just been there, done that. So it's it's in Miami?
I believe so.
Is it? Dude, this is a pick 'em, man. Give me the Chiefs. I'll get different than you, Cam.
Gotcha.
But give me every player prop for Tyreek Hill going off.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The Ravens travel to Seattle. They're 6-point favorites, even though I like the Ravens to cover here. I think the Ravens are the best team in the AFC North, and the Seahawks last week, I don't know, man. I watched the whole game and they just didn't impress me. I'm gonna go Ravens covering the 6 here.
Dude, give me the Seahawks covering but not winning. I think 6 is a fat spread. 6 is a fat spread. DK was coming off an injury last week. DK is fully healthy this week, full participant in practice. Give me the Seahawks losing but covering.
Yeah, and this 6 is going to hook me bad. I can already tell.
Yeah.
I'm going to – if I win, I'll probably push. But, hey, I don't know how this game snuck its way onto this sheet. But
they're both 4-4. That's why.
Vikings, Falcons, Atlanta being 4.5-point favorites. Atlanta 4.5-point favorites. I'm not watching this game. I'm not betting on this game, and I'm not talking about this game. You take it, Mr. Taylor Heinicke.
I will tell you right now, I will be watching. Well, I'll be watching the offense for the Falcons of this game. Don't really care about the Vikings, but I like Atlanta money line. That 4.5-point spread is a little fat. But Cam, my bet of the week for this game is bet the under. 2 brand new quarterbacks, 2 new systems. Give me the under of this game. I have Jordan Addison on my fantasy team. I will be benching him this week, which I think is a good play. But give me the under here. All right, Cam, huge game here. Cowboys, Eagles, NFC East rivalry. Philly -3. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, is this in Philly?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Let me look that up.
If it's in Philly, I'm taking the Eagles. I'm assuming this is a Sunday night game. We don't have it on here, but
it is a Sunday night game.
If it's in Philly, I'm taking the Eagles. If it's in Dallas, I'm taking the Cowboys.
No, it's a 4:25 game. It's in Philly.
Okay, yeah. Give me the Eagles.
4:25. What?
That's an odd time for an East Coast game, but yeah, give me the Eagles here. I think these teams are about as close as you can get in play style. Jalen Hurts is a little bit more clutch than Dak Prescott. This game is at home for the Eagles. Give me the Eagles. get an alt spread of 1 if you can get it by the 2 points.
Yeah. God, man. And Cam, say what's up with Mingo for me. I keep seeing him walking around back there. But anyway, yeah, this game's in Philly. I hate both of these teams. Cannot stand either one of them. The Eagles have beat us twice in the last month. Give me the Eagles. I hate Cowboys, man. Give me the Eagles. I think Dak Prescott. We'll get into that in a little bit. Give me the Eagles winning and covering.
Yeah, and next game, Bills Bengals. Cincinnati are 2.5-point favorites.
This is the night game.
This is the night game. Give me Bills winning out right here.
You think?
For DeMar, yeah. This is the DeMar.
Who was winning last year?
I digress.
Yeah, give me the
I'll tell a not funny story, but funny story relating to that. Ben Misk is in our fantasy league, and the fantasy championship was happening that week.
No shit.
And he needed 0.3 points from Stephon Diggs, and the game gets canceled. That was a funny day in the group chat, by the way. But yeah, man, I'm interested to see if DeMar gets a helmet this game. He's been a healthy scratch the past few weeks. So the DeMar revenge game is on the table for the Bills here.
Hey, bad day to be Joe Mixon and Joe Burrow. But yeah, give me the Bengals. Bengals beat the shit out of the 49ers on Sunday. I think Joe Burrow's back on track. My boy Joe Mixon, he's playing for the WCU Kitty Cat, so he's going to play good for me. So give me the Bengals.
I like it. College football has got a hell of a slate this weekend, Ward. Georgia, Missouri, playing for the East. Feels like, just speaking from experience, feels like every time one of these games happens for the East and UGA's 2-score favorites, they usually cover. So give me UGA to cover the 14.5.
Give me Mizzou losing and covering. Is it at UGA or at Mizzou?
I don't know. I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters either. I'm big on Eli Dorkwitz this year. He a former NC State guy. Give me UGA winning, Mizzou covering.
I'll say Marvin Harrison Jr. gets all the hype deserved. The best receiver in college football is in Columbia, Missouri. Luther Burden is the best receiver in college football right now. But I digress. LSU, Bama, always a great game. I believe this is in Alabama, in Tuscaloosa. Give me Bama minus the 3 point.
Yep, same here. No way LSU beats Bama 2 years in a row. Give me Bama winning and covering.
Washington, Southern Cal. This could get ugly.
Yeah.
Give me Washington in a landslide. Caleb Williams has been bad the past 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I thought last week they'd bounce back. They beat the Cal Bears by 1 point.
Yeah.
This is going to be a slaughter.
This is one game that I will throw some money on, Cam, and I will have Washington winning and covering.
I like it. Kansas State, Texas. Texas 4-point favorites. I saw a stat yesterday. Texas has the best opponent record in college football. Great team. I think Quinn will be back this week.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Texas covering the 4.
Dude, I like Texas winning, but not covering. Quinn Ayers has been hurt. I think Kansas State won the Big 12 last year. I was at that game. So I think this is going to be a good game. Kansas State just slipped out of the rankings as well. So give me – I don't know – or actually, no, they're still ranked. I'm not sure what exactly they're ranked. I didn't put rankings in here, Cam. I'm sorry. But, yeah, give me K-State losing but covering.
Yep. Your Wolfpack traveling to Miami?
No, and Raleigh Wood. And unfortunately, I cannot go to that game. But
yeah, the Hurricanes coming off a big win against Carolina and then a bye week, I believe.
No, they got beat by Carolina.
Miami? They beat Clemson. They beat Clemson. My fault. Yeah, big win versus Clemson, then the bye week. My fault.
Yeah.
I don't know how to – NC State coming off a huge win. Dude, give me the Pack money line. Give me the Pack money line in Raleigh Wood, baby.
Yeah, I will say it all depends on what NC State team we see, my friend. You have no idea. Is this going to be the team that almost lost to Marshall, or is this going to be the team that – is this going to be the team that put up 3 points against Duke, or is this going to be the team that put up 24 and beat Clemson? Give me NC State. The boys are riding high. We just beat the hell out of Clemson at home. We play Miami at home Saturday night, 8 o'clock. It's going to be a party in Raleigh Wood. Give me NC State money line. But not covering.
Gotcha. Well,
no.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. NC State winning, covering money line. My bad.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Read that wrong.
Last game, Kentucky travels to Stark Vegas to play Mississippi State. This is a must-win for the Cats.
Yeah.
You've got to win this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you lose this game, 7-5 is the best you can do. With that being said, Mark Stoops has never won in Starkville. This series is tied
Really?
9-9 all time. Every game the home team wins. So Kentucky's 3.5-point favorites. I'm gonna go with trends here. I'm gonna stick with the trend and Mississippi State money line, man. They're gonna win the football.
Maybe the 10th time's a charm, but Cam, I'm agreeing with you. Nobody knows Kentucky better than you. So give me Mississippi State winning and covering.
Gotcha. Picks of the week, man. Bam's Bad Beats coming up real quick. Obviously, starting off every card. Iowa under 30.5. I've got Nebraska -3 versus Michigan State. Virginia Tech is getting 9.5 versus Louisville. Louisville had a huge win last week.
Yeah.
This is due for a Jeff Brom letdown game. Think about the Notre Dame game followed by the Pitt game.
Yeah.
They're going to win this game, but the 9.5 is too much.
Yeah.
And then give me UCF. They're 3.5-point favorites over Cincinnati.
And Iowa under. You think that's going to hit again?
Oh yeah, I'm betting it, and then they've said that Brian Ferentz is not going to be back next season. So I'm getting as many Iowa unders as I possibly can this season because this might be the last season to do so.
That's crazy, man. Cam, let me run through mine. I have a lot of over unders this week. Not too many spreads and all that. Give me NC State covering. Give me the Atlanta Falcons money line. Taylor Heinicke's going to come in and steal the show. Here's where stuff gets interesting. Dolphins Chiefs offensive shootout. Give me the over. I hope you have either team in fantasy. Cowboys Eagles offensive shootout. Give me the over. Dak interception at 0.05. Give me 3 times the over because he will throw 2 picks in this game. Guaranteed. Bet it. Promise you're going to make money. If you bet Dak 1.5 over interceptions and he throws 2 picks, free ATM right here. Hit that. And then Tyreek Hill coming to Tyreek Hill playing his former team for the first time. He's gonna do his thing. He's done his thing all year. So give me the over there.
I like those picks, Ward.
Yep.
You're not as much of a sicko as I am. I love betting unders. You love betting overs.
Yeah.
Overs are always alive. There's times where the under is not alive. So
yeah.
I get it. Let's go pet peeves of the week real quick, Ward. I'll start out. People who drive their kids around the neighborhood for Halloween piss me off.
Yeah.
Dude, these kids need to walk. They need to live life a little bit. There's no reason I should be having to drive around cars and there should be traffic jams in my neighborhood because you're too lazy to walk your kid around the neighborhood. Stop driving your kids around the neighborhood. It's stupid.
Cam, couldn't agree with you more. And I'll say for any kid out there, I know me and Cam did it. And every kid needs to experience this one time. Those losers on Halloween that are too lazy to give kids candy and it says take 2 and they put the bowl out on their front porch, steal all their candy. If you're too lazy to give
dog.
Yeah, you're done, buddy. You're done. I'm taking the bowl too. Not just the candy. The bowl's going with me too. But anyway, parents got to let their kids live, man. Every kid goes through this. You're going to run from one homeowner one time. It's all about growing up.
Yep.
So I couldn't agree with you more. My pet peeve of the week is not even going to be a pet peeve. It's going to be a shout out. Any of our North Carolina folks this morning went outside. 28 degrees here in Raleighwood, Cam. There is no better feeling in this world, Cam. I told you about it earlier. No better feeling than when you start your car up and you look out of that passenger side window at that tailpipe and that smoke is coming out. And then you're driving down the road, you look in your passenger side window and all that smoke is shooting up into the ozone. You feel like a badass. My shout out of the week is the cold weather coming. Let's keep those pipes cold, my friend.
Yeah, man. Anybody that listens to this podcast that drives a diesel truck just laughed at you because that's their life every day.
Yeah.
But full plate, empty stomach, Ward. My full plate is people who love MAC football. First week of MAC on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 2 games a day. Absolutely loved it. I lost a ton of money on MAC football this week, but that's okay. That's the price of doing business. What's your full plate, Ward?
My full plate this week is going to be shout out or Dave Dorn's my full plate this week.
Can we get the quote? Can we get the quote from you?
NC State's not a basketball school. Steve Smith can kiss my ass.
How badass, man.
What a promo. And I will say Steve Smith's a fighter. He can fight with the best of them. Dave
Yeah,
Dorn is 6'6", about 245 pounds. That's a big boy. So
yeah, that's not a guy you want to mess with,
you
dog.
got to fight. And he's a former college football player as well. So you fight Dave Dorn, that's a lot of man you got to take down. I can tell you that.
Got to watch out for that jab, Steve. Watch out for that jab, baby. My empty stomach. My empty stomach is going to be Louisville basketball, dog. I don't know if you saw this, Ward. They lost an exhibition game to Kentucky Wesleyan, who was a D2 school. Lost outright. Louisville basketball is in the dumps, man. I love Kenny Payne to death. I think he's an awesome guy. I think he's a really good assistant. Time to get out, man. Yeah. He's a former player. He was on that 80 national championship team. But, dude, you got to get out because it's getting crazy. There were reports last night that him and a player got in a physical altercation after practice, Ward.
That's not good.
Louisville basketball's in the dumps. I didn't think it could get worse than the Pitino sex scandal. It's gotten worse. But, yeah, that's my empty stomach of the week.
Cam, I like it. My empty stomach this week, just Steve Smith is my empty stomach this week.
That's that guy. Song of the week real quick, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, my song of the week this week is going to be Master of Puppets by Metallica. Listened to that in the gym this morning. I was bumping, hitting a nasty shoulder day. So, Master of Puppets, Metallica.
Yep, I stepped outside today and figured out my song of the week would be Colder Weather by Zach Brown Band. But that was episode 30, guys. I want to remind everybody before we get out of here, find us on YouTube and Spotify. Just type in the Fat Katz Podcast. It's KTZ. Share us with your friends. Tell your friends about us. Talk to us on Instagram, TikTok. Find us there at Fat Katz Pod. We love you guys. We appreciate y'all listening. And Ward, 4 is yours, brother.
If you made it this far, Cam owes you a beer. Love you guys. Thanks for all the support.
Peace.